And we're ready for the first pitch of this game. It'll be delivered to Tony Womack by Brandon Backe. The corners are up for Womack, and here's the first pitch. Strike called, and we're underway. Opens up with a fastball.
Right at the knees, perfectly placed.
Womack 2 for 17 in the series. Keep him off the base paths. And the pitch on the way, and that is down. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Womack has stolen a couple bases. He's walked. He's scored 3 times. Backe into the motion. Rocks, kicks, and delivers. And a little low. 2 balls and a strike. Walker on deck. Pujols down in the hole. Brandon Backe, Woody Williams, the right-handers, the starting right-handers here tonight in Game 5. The 2-1 to Womack. Swinging. Sends a high pop. Shallow left center. Going to hang up, and who's going to be there? It's going to be Vizcaino. He put his hands up at the last second. Biggio was on a collision course, but held up just in time.
Almost as if Vizcaino called off Biggio. Now it goes the other way, but I think Bidge went ahead and moved off to the side as Viz had made the early call and was ready to make the play.
He was up in the air long enough for the shortstop to make that play. And now here is Larry Walker. He's 6 for 16 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. Here starts the power part of the order. There's a swing and a miss.
Walker guessing fastball, got a slider down and in.
Pujols is on deck, then it'll be Scott Rowland. The series even, 2 games apiece. 0-1 to Walker. Holds that bat high, twirling it. And the pitch from Brandon Backe. Tight in the lead elbow, backs him off a bit. It's a ball and a strike. 94 on that heater from Brandon.
It's about as high as we've seen all year from Brandon.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 out. And the pitch to Walker. Strike called. Cut it inside corner. Another 94.
Exactly right. Right on that inside black. That's where everybody's been trying to pitch Walker. Hard inside with the fastball and then move the breaking ball away.
A ball and 2 strikes. Backe delivers. Swinging and got it.
Got him at the curveball or slider. If it's the slider backdoor variety, that's exactly what I think Brandon has to establish. And on top of it, establishing command of the fastball. That's a big plus.
2 down for Albert Pujols. Here's a guy who's had 9 hits in the first 4 games, 9 for 15. 3 homers, 6 RBIs. He's walked 3 times. He's scored 6 times. In fact, he and Walker have scored 12 runs between them in the first 4 games. And there's a strike to Pujols.
Well, Brandon's sharp.
Outfield's deep. Pujols waits. And the 0-1 from Backe. Crack bat, bouncer second. Throw to first. 1-2-3 for Backe. And the pitch to Biggio, fouling back. Good swing.
Yeah. 88 on the fastball from Woody Williams. About in the range where he started the other night in St. Louis. The Astros had 2 runs after 2 hitters in that ball game.
Biggio steps out on him a moment. They're already starting the Biggio. Swinging, smash third. Right to Scott Rowland. Easy play on to first and 1 down.
That has been one issue with Woody Williams. Get him early and don't let him settle in, because once he does, he can get in cruise control.
Carlos Beltran, 7 for 13. Listen to this welcome. Beltran 7 for 13 in the series, 4 homers, 5 runs batted, and he scored 8 times. Lining it deep out into left center, the left fielder back into the triangle, and that's where he caught it.
Right in front of the 362 sign. Look for a moment like Carlos might have gotten a hold of number 9 here in the postseason.
That'll bring up Bagwell with nobody on and 2 down, so Williams gets 2 quick outs. Bagwell has had a tough time getting going in the series with the Cardinals, just 3 for 13 and only 1 RBI. He has walked 4 times, but hasn't scored a run. Really unusual for him. So he'll step up in here with nobody on in front of him and 2 down. Berkman has moved on deck to the right side. Woody Williams delivers to him, swinging and a sinking liner by the second baseman Womack. The overspin took it right by Womack.
Just a line shot right back up the middle. Womack playing near the bag at second, almost got a glove on it.
Fourth hit of the series for Baggs. Here's another hot stick, Lance Berkman.
The Astros getting good swings here in the first against Williams.
The bees are buzzing all over this place.
One bee, Brandon Backe, had a very sharp first inning.
Berkman. Berkman has hit in all 9 of the postseason games. He's 7 for 15 in this series with 3 homers, has driven in 8 runs in these 4 games.
And leads in that category.
The look to first. Berkman swings and lines it foul down the right side. A chance to break it here on the Astros Radio Network.
This is Lana Hughes. Wake up with Houston's Morning News tomorrow for the latest on what could be a flu shot frenzy as Houstonians vie for the coveted vaccine. We'll also have traffic and weather together on News Radio 740 KTRH Houston.
With Alan Ashby, Milo Hamilton, Minute Maid Park in Game 5. As Woody Williams will check in on Bagwell at first. Deliver to Berkman, fouling it up this way into the mezzanine. 2 strikes. As we say hello to Huntsville, KMVL, Lafayette, KVOL, and Lake Charles, KEZM. 2 strikes to Berkman. Not only does he have 8 RBIs in this series, but during the year he led us in RBIs with 19 against the Cardinals. We've played this club now 22 times. We're 12-10 with him. Look out at back away in a hurry. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Berkman. Kent is on deck. Biggio bounced to third. Beltran lined to left center. Bagwell singled up the middle. He's on with 2 down. Pitch on the way. Outside on the breaking ball that didn't come back in for Woody Williams. And it's 2-2. Red Sox batting in the home half of the ninth at Fenway. They're involved in a 4-4 tie. Wasn't long ago they were trailing in that game 4-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Chopper up the first base side. Pujols with it. Underhand flip to Woody Williams, and they just nipped Berkman because he was scooting down that line. Score at 3-1. Side retired. Fouling it out of play way over to the right side. Edmonds has already moved on deck over here to the left. They're now going to the 10th at Fenway, 4-4. Right-hander Backe kicks and delivers. Backs him away on that lead shoulder. A ball and a strike. Brandon Backe's pitched some very important games for this franchise in the last month. And the 1-1 to Scott Rowland. Fouling it over to the right again. Got around late on the heater at 92. Crowd's ready when they see 2 strikes. They get in it. Sign given by Osmus. Backe brings it up high. Fastball sailed up there at 93, and it's 2-2. Rowland steps out on him a moment. During the year, he had 4 homers and 11 RBIs against us. Just another big threat in the middle of their card. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Bent his knees with a slider.
Just perfectly placed outside edge. Scott Rowland checking with the home plate umpire, Angel Hernandez, as he heads toward the dugout. But I mean, this was just gorgeous.
Boy, and didn't Osmus have it framed nice too?
Yeah, when that pitcher drops it right where you've set it up, it's pretty easy.
This is Jim Edmonds. 4 for 13 in the series. He's had a homer and driven in 5. Walked twice, scored 4 times. Another long ball threat for a club that hit 214 homers. Sends a high pop foul out of play over here to the left side. Strike 1 to Edmonds. Renteria, the shortstop, on deck.
Good starter curveball there to Edmonds. It's what we saw from Brandon last time out in St. Louis. After the first inning or so, he realized he needed to go to the curve and slider as a first pitch, a get-ahead type pitch. These Cardinals are deadly if they know what's coming.
No balls, 1 strike. Do they sit on red a lot, and then if it's a breaking ball, so what?
Well, absolutely. I mean, they're excellent at, if they get ahead in the count as a hitter, they're going to sit on that 1 pitch, probably fastball, and if they get it, they don't miss many times.
Here's the 0-1 from Backe. Sending a high fly ball center. Carlos under, waiting. 2 down.
Boy, Carlos was playing very deep there on Edmonds. Had to come in on what wound up to be just a routine mid-depth fly ball to center.
2 down in the second. That'll bring up Edgar Renteria. We've held this fine shortstop to 1 for 14 in this series. Walked twice and scored a run. Right-hand batter with a slightly closed stance. Ensberg even with the bag at third. It's the only infielder who's up at all. Here's the pitch. Swinging, coming up empty, off-speed pitch for an opener.
And that breaking ball, and Renteria was fooled and out in front.
No balls and 1 strike. Nobody on, 2 down. Backe's retired. The first 5 Cardinals were 0-0. Top of the second, and here's the pitch. Down and out. A ball and a strike to Renteria. Reggie Sanders, their left fielder, would be next. A ball and a strike. Pitch on the way. Strike call.
There was a fastball to hit. Brandon got it about mid-thigh and got a portion of the plate, but good velocity at 93.
The towels are waving. Renteria waits on a 1-2. Backe kicks and brings it. Strike on the knees. 1, 2, 3 inning.
Inside corner, good paint again. Brandon Backe remains sharp through 2.
Ensberg on deck, then it'll be Vizcaino and Woody Williams. First pitch to Kent is down a ball, and we're underway in the bottom of the second inning. And the pitch from Williams. Tight. 2 balls, no strikes.
You know what I noticed? The Cardinals are playing in the outfield to pull on Kent. And last year in particular, when he got things really heated up, he was driving the ball to right center a good deal.
Pitch on the way. Smash, foul. Had a lot of doubles in the right center field gap and had some opposite field home runs along with it.
Now, what this tells me, though, is that the Cardinals have made a determination to pitch Kent in hard, try to force him to pull the ball. So, you know, Jeff probably has already picked up on that himself.
2 balls and a strike. Well, then whack one to the Landry's Crawford boxes. There's a ball down and out. 3-1 to Jeff Kent as he leads off the second inning. Right-hand batter, right-hand pitcher. Pitch on the way. A little nubber off the fist, and the shortstop will go to shallow left. That's Renteria. And there is 1 down.
So Woody did come right back in there on the inside edge and tied Jeff up. We saw Jeff frozen a couple of times yesterday on pitches in there.
Morgan Ensberg limited to 2 for 16 in the NLCS. Has a homer driven into at a homer at Busch. It caught stealing once. Ensberg will stand in with nobody on in front of him and 1 away. Vizcaino moves on deck right side. Second inning, no score. Pitch on the way. Had a notion, laid off, and the pitch caught a corner away for a strike, and it's 0-1 to Ensberg.
Up and away, pretty good pitch to drive.
Ensberg with the open stand, more open than we've seen it.
Different than we've seen.
Down under the shins, and it's a ball and a strike.
Morgan's usually pretty wide and squared up, and employing an open stance, maybe feeling that he's not turning on pitches that are in where you can really drive them.
I bet you he's been spending some time in that video room with Gary Gaetti, and they've come up with this stance.
See if it pays off.
Here's the 1-1. Down and out, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Second inning, game 5. We're all knotted, 2 games apiece. They won their 2 at Busch. We've won the first 2 here. Ready for the 2-1, and Williams delivers. Swinging check swing foul, actually, down the right side. Lower boxes, about 50 feet past the far end of our dugout. Woody Williams wants a different new baseball, and the plate umpire, Angel Hernandez, will oblige.
Check swing induced not because Woody fooled Morgan with any off-speed pitch, just great location down and away.
Ensberg getting back up in there, taps the bat on the plate, takes a practice swing across the plate. Now he'll bring it up, and here's the pitch. Down and in. That'll fill it. Nobody on. 1 out. 3-2 count to Ensberg. Vizcaino had a big hit yesterday. Oh, was it a honey? A 2-out double that led to a tying run, and Jose is on deck. And the 3-2 pitch. Swinging, missing at a ball down, and he chased it, and it's 2 away. First strikeout for Woody Williams here tonight. Jose Vizcaino, 5 for 16 in the series, scored 1 run.
Yeah, that strikeout there on Morgan on a pitch about the same height as the pitch Beltran hit out to right center last night.
Woody Williams, been around. Oh, I remember the first game he started here as a member of the Padres in the Dome. He had everybody that he knew, family, old teammates, and he lasted about long enough for the national anthem to be heard. And a lot of fans that he got into the game certainly disappointed. Strike 1 to Vizcaino as he bats here left-handed. Down and out with something off of that pitch, fouling it back. Another curveball. Another new baseball goes out to Woody Williams. Got a couple of intense competitors battling here tonight. Woody Williams and Brandon Backe. And the 1-2 pitch. Strike on the knees. Got him with a slider. Rocks, kicks, and delivers. And a breaking ball stayed up. Ball 1. Well, Mayor, you've had some kind of first year, haven't you? Super Bowl, All-Star, and a team in baseball that's just doing everything for you.
And, you know, the city's really coming together, isn't it, Milo? I mean, we're so proud of this group, and to come from behind.
Here is the 1-0 to Sanders. Smash, speared! Holy Toledo! What a play by Morgan Ensberg, Alan Ashby.
Just a line shot near the bag at third. Morgan crossing over to his right and able to make this reaction play. Outstanding. Actually leaping in that direction, staying on his feet as he landed.
And the crowd loved it. That's a blue star all the way. Beautifully done by Morgan Ensberg. You like that a little, Mayor? Was that something to watch?
I'll tell you, when I was playing, that's the kind of play I dreamed of making.
This is Mike Matheny, the catcher, 2 for 9 in the series. He's had a sacrifice. He's a right-hand batter with a closed stance. And there's a strike call from Brandon Backe. Boy, isn't it something what a sports franchise with success can do for the feeling in a city, Mayor?
Oh, yeah, and they come from behind stuff with a kid who wasn't even in the majors out on the mound. It's incredible.
Swinging, fly ball, slicing down the right side. Berkman over, Berkman coming over. He's going to be there right before the line. Yeah. 2 down. This is him batting, Woody Williams, and that's a ball. You know, he was an all-star shortstop for the Cougars.
I know.
Now they made him you got 2 guys pitching tonight who were originally shortstops.
You bet.
Here's the 1-0 to Woody Williams. That's down, falls behind him, 2-0.
Well, I'm sort of glad that Backe didn't make it as an outfielder in the minor leagues, because he's sure come through for us now.
Yeah, we're kind of enjoying that pitching talent at this point.
He had a great arm. Ready for the 2-0 to his mound opponent. Nobody on. 2 down. Little tapper, and it'll go foul about 30 feet up the line. And that'll mean Woody Williams has got to come back to home plate.
Up that third base line. Brad Ausmus giving chase and wisely let it roll enough to go foul.
8 up and 8 down so far for Brandon Backe. There's been 1 hit. It belongs to Bagwell. These 2 clubs have really combined for some power in this series. We've hit 11 homers. They've hit 8. That's 19 homers. And a club, Mayor, like the Astros in the middle of the pack in the league, And they've hit 22 homers in the first 9 games of the playoffs.
Unbelievable. But I'll tell you, they sure have been hotter than that in the last month, haven't they?
Oh, boy. Here's the 2-1. Sends a high fly ball. Left field. Biggio under. When it comes down, he'll catch it. It did. He did. Another 1-2-3 inning. Leading off the third in a scoreless game. And the first pitch is a strike call.
Well, that's a wide corner right there.
Probably one of those streets the mayor had fixed. 0-1. Pitch on the way. Tight at the knees, a ball, 1-1. And that's another thing about when you have these venues like All-Star games and Super Bowls and this kind, it also makes it more important for the city to do things to make the city attractive for the visitors.
You bet. We're showing off the city. Super Bowl was great for us, and playoffs, whenever people come through here, they see what a great city we have.
Here's the 1-1 to Ausmus. Backed him off on the thigh, and it's 2-1. Chilly up in Fenway right now, too. That's outside. It's 3-1 to Ausmus. Have any thoughts about if we go deeper, any kind of a bet you might throw out to an opposing mayor?
Well, I've been thinking about that, and I'll answer right after you call this pitch.
Here's the 3-1 to Ausmus. Up, he walked him. Ball 4. All right, Brandon Backe will be up here to move a runner. He's a good hitter. What about sacrifices? He's had 3 of them. Just a terrific athlete in the batter's box here, Mayor.
Oh, yes, and a great success story.
And the look to first, squaring away. Whoop, butts it up in the air. Fortunately, it went back, not forward. Usually when you bunt that pitch up in that area, you pop it up all right, and usually for an out. That's why you like to let them let that ball go by for a ball.
Ball dropping just outside the Astros dugout on that first base side.
Getting down toward the bottom of the hour. We'll break it when we can. He'll go into that bunting stance again. There it is. Laid off. Took a pitch he could bunt that time, Allen.
Got a breaking ball, and it fooled him a bit as he went out there to bunt.
Puts him down in the count, 0-2. Another thing about it, with all of our cities, the 50 stations out there, Mayor, these folks all come in here now for these games.
That's wonderful. And, you know, Houstonians are so friendly. That's something people remarked all the time about during the Super Bowl.
Now, powwow here. I think Backe wants to know, I've got 2 strikes. Are you staying with me on the bunt? You got Ausmus at first with a walk, trying to get to the top with Biggio, all the way from Alpine to Woodville. And over in Louisiana.
That Super Bowl you bring up, from what I understand, was a great success PR-wise across the nation. And I think the World Series might just do just as well or better.
You bet, Alan. You said it well.
And could be for 7 games. There's the ball up. And now it is 1-2 to Backe.
And all those folks in those towns, I was a kid who was listening to the radio, listening to Jimmy Wynn and Rusty Staub when I was a little leaguer, and I'll tell you, it's wonderful to be at this place right now.
We've got a beautiful ball yard, Mayor. Here's the 1-2, bunting, and fouls, and that is a strikeout. So Backe didn't get the job done there. Go to the top with Biggio, Beltran, and Bagwell. Ausmus at first with a walk.
Thing about Brandon Backe, he's been so good swinging the bat that obviously not feeling as comfortable there trying to lay down the bunt.
And Alan, it looks like he'd been throwing steady diet of curves and sliders here after he was tagged a little bit on those fastballs.
Yeah, you notice also sometimes when you find a hitter that is struggling trying to lay down the bunt, you see him kind of have body movement on the breaking pitch. You just come right back with it, and that's what Woody Williams did.
Biggio bounced to third in the first inning, had a couple of aggressive swings, grounded out to Scott Rowland, standing erect up in front of the batter's box. And Mayor, doesn't it take you back to when you were that kid, when you got that first glove and you dreamed about seeing a big league game?
Oh, that incredible. And those play-by-play announcers.
The stretch and the look back. Here's the pitch, and it's down around the shins. Well,
Gene Nelson.
Well, we're in this business, we think baseball radio is where it is because people use their imagination.
Exactly. That every little kid is thinking about themselves up at that plate. That was me and a lot of other people who are in this place right now.
1 ball, no strikes, Biggio. A ball makes it 2-0. We've had 1 hit, Bagwell in the first. The other runner is Osmus. He walked to start this inning. He's there now with 1 away, and we're in the bottom of the 3rd.
Potentially a dangerous count here for Woody Williams. 2-0 on Biggio, who loves to hit that fastball.
Well, if he can be aggressive like you like to see him, that's when he's the most effective. Ready for the 2-0, stretching and delivering. Ooh, a big swing on a fastball, comes up empty.
Got the pitch he was no doubt looking for and just simply missed it.
They haven't gone twice through the top of the lineup without damage so far this series.
2 balls and 1 strike. Biggio batting, Beltran on deck.
That last pitch was one Bidge would like to have again.
Short lead at first, Osmus. Lining it, foul down the left side into those seats that angle up toward the EV1.net fair pole, and it is 2-2 to Bidge.
Very near the same pitch. This fastball left up again. Biggio had the good rip just a bit in front.
When you were talking about those Little League days, what'd you play, Mayor?
Well, I was a pitcher. Couldn't make contact worth a darn, but I could place the ball to a spot.
All right. See, you could have pitched to Alan Ashford.
Every major league hitter has had that feeling at one time or another.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Williams will stretch, hesitate, and bring it. Down, close.
Very
3-2.
Very close.
Let's break it in a hurry on the Astros Radio Network.
This is KTRH's Chris Van Duzen. Stick with us after the game. Ted will have the 10th inning show, reaction from the ball game and from fans, plus traffic and weather together on News Radio 740 KTRH Houston.
With Alan Ashby, Milo Hamilton saying "Oh" to Livingston, KETX, Logansport, KORI, and Lufkin, KRBA. And a swing and a foul. The runner was going on that pitch.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do. Go ahead and trust Biggio. See if you can create something. Here you are in the 3rd inning, a scoreless ball game. Love to be that club that jumps out in front. Although the Astros did that twice in St. Louis, and both of those ball games got away.
Yankees went out in front tonight, but they're in the in the 11th inning
12th
now?
inning now as they head to it.
4-4 at Fenway. Biggio back up in there. Osmus first base, 1 out, 3rd inning, no score. Runner going, swinging, popping, and Osmus got to put a rope around him and bring him back. Shortstop Renteria out into shallow left over near the line. Well, Mayor, when you think of notoriety for your great city, the guy stepping in the batter's box is bringing your city some spotlight.
Isn't it incredible? And talk about trying to figure out how to pitch to a guy. I'll tell you what, the pitcher's trying to figure that out right now. Will he give him anything, Alan?
I don't know. He drove one pretty well to left center first at bat.
And the pitch, a breaking ball in on the knees. It's strike 1, opened up on a slider with him.
If you get this kind of location, you can pitch to just about anybody, at least for a while. Now, Carlos Beltran has shown he can even hit the ankle-high pitch.
Did yesterday for a game winner. Almost got him on the lead elbow, spins him back.
That's something
1 ball, 1 strike.
We were seeing from the Atlanta Braves. Now, they drilled Carlos Beltran in the right rib cage and gave him a tough time. And for the next couple of days thereafter, they were bringing a lot of pitches up and in.
A ball and a strike. Beltran, switch hitter deluxe. Woody Williams delivers, swinging, fouling it up above us.
That is a pretty good rip.
And you saw how inside that was.
Yeah. They're trying to come in there. Of course, I say they gave him a tough time. He hit 4 home runs in that series, 4 here against the Cardinals.
Hey, Alan, you better be careful. The mayor's not missing anything.
No, he's
here.
not. It sounds like he's got his game together. Game face on.
There we go.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Osmus walked to start the inning. He's still there with 2 away. And the pitch almost came over that outside corner. Tried to backdoor him with a breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
No, but this kid has everything, you know. And I like the second in the lineup, too.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting slot. He was struggling, and Phil Garner placed him second, and he took off.
Ready for the 2-2. Swinging. Line drive right. Walker back. Reaches up, and he has it.
As he lined to Ensberg. Breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 on Womack. And that's what Backe is doing very well. A lot of breaking pitches between the curve and slider to start hitters. At that point, he's got him guessing. 0-1 pitch. Splitter, maybe the fastball turned over a bit in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nothing but zeros for the Cardinals. No runs on 1 hit and no errors for the Astros. That 1 hit in the ballgame, Jeff Bagwell with a 2-out single back in the first inning. 1-1 pitch off speed and missing just high on Womack. Womack has 1 RBI in the series. He's 35 years of age, just 5'9", 170. Overall in the postseason, hitting just 139 for St. Louis. Pitches pop foul down the left field side. That'll find the seat, so the count evens at 2-2. Brandon Backe has been sharp. That's just 33 pitches now. Trying to get this first man in the 4th inning. Scoreless ball game. Astros and Cardinals. A key game 5 in the series. Whichever club wins this one has a decided advantage. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, popped in the air down the left field side, giving chase Ensberg and Vizcaino. It'll find the seats once again. Vizcaino had gotten all the way to those seats. It was about 4 or 5 rows back. So we do it again at 2-2. Brandon Backe with just 9 regular season starts. An amazing story. He started 2 games prior to this in the postseason, 1-0, and left that other one with a lead 4-3 against these Cardinals. 2-2 count as Backe stares in and to the wind. And the pitch to Womack. Curveball grounded toward short. Vizcaino to his left. Gloves, throws, and gets him. Womack digging down that line made it relatively close. So 1 up, 1 down here in the 4th inning, and 10 straight retired by Brandon Backe. And with 1 down, it brings up the right fielder Larry Walker, strikeout victim in the first. 1 of 3 on the night for Backe. Backe finished the regular season 5-3, but that's just about when he was starting to turn it on. Over the months of September, October, Backe was 3-1 in 6 starts. First pitch, Walker takes a strike on the inside edge with that good fastball. 93 on the heat. Brandon's been as high as 94 this evening. Backe back to the plate with the 0-1 pitch. Fastball missing low. Today's health tip is brought to you by the Methodist Hospital. Oral cancer is almost twice as likely to develop in men than in women due to lifestyle choices. Did you know that studies show that cigar smokers have the same risk of developing oral cancer as cigarette smokers and smokeless tobacco users? There's the tapper back to the mound. Backe gloves. Goes to Bagwell for the easy out on Walker. And a couple of ground ball outs here in the 4th inning. So 2 down, bases empty. Backe stares in, has his sign. And the pitch to Pujols, taken up and away. Albert Pujols hitting .563 as he stands in. 3 dingers in the series and 6 RBIs. Lance Berkman leads all hitters here in the series with 8 ribbies. Backe with a long look in, and now Pujols steps out. Pujols back in there. Backe staring into Ausmus, who sets up away. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball. Just missing under the knees. Looked like a pretty close pitch. It's 2 balls, no strikes on Albert Pujols. Waiting on deck, cleanup man Scott Rowland, who made the final out of yesterday's ball game as Brad Lidge struck him out on the high heater. Backe has his sign. And the 2-0 pitch. Fastball, that misses down and away, so he falls behind 3-0, in jeopardy of having his first base runner against him. Scoreless game here in the 4th inning. Alan Ashby with you, along with Milo Hamilton from a packed and beautiful Minute Maid Park. 3-0 pitch from Backe. Fastball through there for a strike. So Pujols taking on the 3-0 and got the fastball he might otherwise have been looking for. Backe stares in. And the 3-1 pitch. Slider grounded toward third. Ensberg will glove. The long throw across to Bagwell, right on the money to get Pujols. Cardinals play a semi-shift in the infield, fairly straight away in the outfield. Here's the first pitch of the inning. Breaking ball in the dirt, bouncing away from Mike Matheny. Bagwell hitting .286 on the series. He is not homered. He's driven in 1. Digs in, waves that bat around as Woody Williams gets his sign, and the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball hammered high and deep to left. Is it fair? No. Hooking foul down the line and way out of here. Now that woke him up at Minute Maid Park. Jeff Bagwell got every bit of this one. A breaking ball left up and in. And that got everybody's attention, including that of Woody Williams. So it's a 1-1 count on a loud foul ball. Breaking ball misses down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Scoreless game, Astros and Cardinals. Game 5 of the League Championship Series. Here's the 2-1. Bagwell takes a strike right on the outside black. The count evens at 2-2. Here in the postseason, Bagwell's batting average at .286, couple of home runs and 6 RBIs. Here's the 2-2 to Jeff. Breaking ball grounded, backhanded, diving stop, rolling at third. The throw from his knees on the money, and that gets Bagwell. And again, we chatted with Lance on the pregame show today. Carlos Beltran has gotten a lot of credit and publicity here in the postseason, and deservedly so. Here's the first pitch to Lance. Swung on and foul back just above us and to our left. So the count at 0-1. But even with that said, here in this series against St. Louis, 20 total bases for Carlos Beltran. Lance Berkman has 18 himself, and he's kind of gone quietly under the radar. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball misses down and away. And on top of that, Berkman leads the club with 8 RBIs. Well, what a play by Scott Rowland to get things started here in the inning. Berkman taps the plate with the bat. Here's the 1-1 from Williams in the dirt. So Lance gets in front, 2-1. Berkman hitting a cool .438 as he stands in. 3 home runs against the Cardinals, and those 8 RBIs I mentioned. Woody Williams 11-8 on his season. The fastball misses up and in, and that'll put it at 3-1. The outfield deep and fairly straight away. Left fielder Reggie Sanders moved towards center, so there's a big left field line for Lance to hit at. Infield has Rowland pulled well towards second. Pitches up and away, so Berkman draws a 1-out walk. And that amplifies what's been done to Bagwell here in the inning, as he was robbed by Rowland. So with Berkman at first, 1 down, it brings up Jeff Kent. He popped to short, 0 for 1 on the night. The batting average now at just .200 for Jeff against the Cards. Kent with a couple of home runs, though, and one of those gave the Astros a 4-2 lead at St. Louis in Game 1. That was early on. Pitch to Jeff in the dirt and blocked nicely by Mike Matheny, as good as anybody. One ball and no strikes. Huge hole on the right side as Albert Pujols holds Berkman, and Womack swung around towards second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's inside as the Cards continue to try to pound that inside edge to Kent. Shortstop Edgar Renteria well away from the bag at second, as they play Jeff Kent to pull in the infield as well as in the outfield. .2-0 pitch hit in the air towards center. Should be easy for Edmonds, now backing just a step or two as he makes the grab. But instead, now in his 3rd postseason start, brings the fastball away. 1 ball and no strikes. Ensberg still employing that slightly open stance. Waves the bat around as Williams comes sat in the 1-0. Grounded foul third base side. Woody got the fastball right on the hands of Ensberg. Right-hand hitters did pretty good damage against Williams on the year, hitting .296. Lefties hit just .223. And the Astros gave Woody Williams nightmares in 3 starts. The Astros scored 15 runs in 15 innings against Woody. That's pretty easy to figure. An ERA of an even 9. Now timeout called by Ensberg. 1-1 is the count Throw to first base, back in is Berkman. Bagwell grounded to third. That great play by Roland. Berkman walked, and Kent has flied to center. 1-1 pitch to Ensberg. Breaking ball misses up. So a 2-1 count. The Astros have not been able to run against these Cardinals here in the series. They have stolen one while being caught 3 times. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Ensberg. Hits him in the helmet. Just glances off his helmet as he tried to duck away from a fastball. And so that'll put Ensberg, who jogs on down to first. Obviously, it did not hurt him. Just glanced the top of the helmet. So Ensberg at first, Berkman at second on the hit batter. Boy, it's so scary when you watch what happened yesterday with Jeff Bagwell facing Julian Taveras. Taveras threw one back behind the left ear of Bagwell at the time, and Jeff able to get out of the way, but that was one of those pitches that easily you could back right into. So runners at first and second. 2 down, and now Mike Matheny will go out to the hill. It brings up Jose Vizcaino. He struck out looking on a breaking ball spotted nicely on the inside edge. That ended the second inning. Waiting on deck, Brad Ausmus. Meeting breaks up as Angel Hernandez goes out. Scoreless ball game. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and just 1 hit to this point between these 2 great hitting ball clubs. That owned by Bagwell in the 1st inning. But the Astros with a walk to Berkman, Ensberg hit by a pitch, have a 2-out shot here in the 4th inning to get Woody Williams. Here's the first pitch to Viz, a swing and a miss on the high fastball, and that heater just at 88 from Woody. As Woody Williams came down the stretch, he wasn't at his best this year. He was just 1-1 in 5 games for the Cardinals, and the Cards went 13-13 in their final 26. Ground ball first base side, glove by Pujols. He'll flip to Williams at the bag, and that'll do it for Vizcaino and the Astros in the 4th inning. No runs on no hits, but they leave a pair.
And the first pitch of the inning to Roland is a ball, and we're underway in the top of the 5th inning.
Pretty good slider right there, just missing down and away.
Roland was called out on strikes in the 2nd inning. He's 6 for 17 in the series, and the pitch to him comes up empty there, and it's a swinging strike on a slider, 1-1.
Came right back with that same pitch. And what Brandon has done, among other things, is catch the Cardinals guessing in certain counts, looking for that fastball, and they haven't gotten it.
Edmonds on deck. It's the Cardinal 5th. Backe delivers. Fouling back. Got it right in on his hands on a heater.
So after the 2 start-out sliders, that fastball becomes more effective, and he puts it on the fist.
I noticed you were impressed with the mayor. He knew a little something about baseball,
that was
didn't
his
he?
game. He came unshaven with the game face.
No tie, collar open. Here's the 1-2 to Roland. Just missing. Boy. Goodness gracious, where was that?
Now Roland got rung up in the 2nd inning with a pitch right on the outside edge. This one maybe missed that spot by ½ an inch, not by much.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Right-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. Backe to the motion and brings it. Fouling it. And that bat was splintered. He'll have to have a new one. 1 hit belongs to Bagwell. No score. 5th inning. Backe delivers. Swinging foul. Got just enough to stay alive. Got him out over that slider, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
In terms of command, Brandon Backe has come out with the A game this evening.
Roland stepping out on him a moment. Here's the 2-2. Started after it. It was up a little with a fastball. That'll fill it. He hadn't walked anybody.
So you go to the 3-2 count now to get that final out of the 4th inning. Albert Pujols grounding to third on a 3-1 count. Backe went to the slider.
And see if Ausmus is thinking that way since he got Roland on a strikeout in the 2nd inning on a slider. 3-2 pitch. Fouling it. Came with a slider all right, but he got enough on it to get another look.
left this one kind of on that inside edge, and Rolen was tied up. Oftentimes that happens. You don't leave the breaking ball exactly where you want. If you get it on the inside edge, you'll still tie up the hitter.
Rolen, a big guy.
He is a big man.
3-2. And another payoff. Swinging, bouncing foul down the third base side. I thought Kenny Boyer was a big third baseman, and he was. But Scott Rolen's even bigger. And he's a Gold Glover.
Yeah, I think Scott Rolen's kind of redefined, and I don't know if you can follow in the footsteps of a guy like this, but he's that special, big, athletic individual. Just does everything well. He's one of the best base runners in the National League. You'd never think that by looking at him physically.
Ready for another payoff as Rolen leads off the fifth. Brandon Backe brings it to him. Smash to third. Ensberg right there. On to Bagwell. One away. Rolen had a quality at bat, but you end up getting him. Ready now for the pitch to Jim Edmonds. Dangerous left-hand hitter. Down a ball, and it's 1-0 from Brandon Backe. Even when he misses, he's not missing by much. Fastball, sliders, curves, and he's being asked to use them all by his catcher, Brad Ausmus, here tonight. And ready for the 1-0 to Edmonds. Just outside.
Boy, that was
close.
a good pitch.
Whoa. Pitchers battle here tonight. Brandon Backe and Woody Williams. And the 2-0 pitch. Swinging, coming up empty on a change.
How about that? A 2-0 changeup to Jim Edmonds. Edmonds didn't have a prayer on this pitch, and I don't think many hitters would even have a chance to make contact. You got to be guessing one pitch, and you know he's not guessing change.
2 balls, 1 strike. Fell behind Scott Rolen, came back and got him, so that was 2 hitters in a row, dangerous hitters. Pujols to retire the side in the 4th. Scott Rolen leading off this inning. That pitch down and in. That'll push it to 3-1 again.
Every pitch seemingly with a purpose. This pitch didn't miss by much. You know, watching the Backe game so far here this evening, he reminds me of Roger Clemens on his game, where he just never gives in.
Ready for the 3-1 to Edmonds. Nobody on in front of him, 1 away. Sign given. Brandon Backe accepts and brings it. Bounced it up there. And that'll be a walk.
Well,
their first base runner.
Tried to come with that 3-1 change once again and just yanked this one in the dirt.
13 in a row he retired, then gives up a walk to Edmonds. And that'll bring up Renteria, who was called out on strikes in the 2nd inning. Renteria batting, moving on deck. Reggie Sanders, their left fielder. Renteria closes up that stance a little bit. Holds the bat high and waits for Backe. He'll check over the shoulder. First time he's had to work from the stretch. Throw to first. Edmonds in the back door safely.
Cardinals have stolen just 2 bags in the series, but have not been caught.
Womack had them both. Right-hand batter, right-hand pitcher. Over the shoulder, Backe checks on Edmonds. Pitch on the way. Swinging. High fly ball, shallow right. Berkman's under. And there's 2 down in the inning. So Sanders now 1 hit in 12 trips in this series. Did not play last night. They used Mabry. And the pitch to Sanders. Just a little tight. Boy, he doesn't miss by much.
No, that breaking ball was left on the inside. That's not where he wanted it, but in a location that I think we've seen some calls this evening. Suddenly, Angel Hernandez got a little tighter here in the 5th.
No score in our game. Yankees and Red Sox extra innings 4-4.
But Hernandez has been nice and consistent this evening.
Ready for a 1-0 as Backe accepts. He'll stretch. Drop the glove to the belt buckle. Turn, throw over to first. Edmonds back. Edmonds walked after 1 out. He's still there after 2 outs. Backe going to clean off the spikes. Then step back up in there. He's even intense when he cleans his shoes. 1 ball, no strikes. Right-hand batter Sanders waiting. Edmonds with a lead, a little bigger lead this time, not going anywhere. Swinging, fly ball down the left side. And is it going to be in play for Ensberg? He actually got down there along with Biz. It looked like it was going to be a play for Vizcaíno, but Ensberg stayed with it. That gives you a capsule of how good these pitchers are doing. There is a strike to Ausmus. Brandon Backe is on deck. And a pitch on the way. And dropped it low, and it is a ball and a strike. Ausmus stepping back a moment. Brad's folks coming in from New England for this series. They're two of our biggest internet fans. That's a ball, and it's 2-1.
It'd be kind of fun to have a weekend in New England.
Yeah. Well, you better have your long johns there. Here's the 2-1 to Ausmus. Up high, and it's 3-1 to Brad. We needed him in St. Louis.
It's one of the nice things about Fenway, though. It's all enclosed and nice heating and everything, so no problem.
At least the booth.
Yeah, you'd like to think so.
3-1 to Ausmus. Swinging, fouling, out of play. Full count. Backe on deck, then up to Biggio. Got 5 B's in there tonight. There's a big banner here tonight with 5 B's on the front of the word believe. Biggio, Beltran, Bagwell, Berkman, and Backe. 3-2 pitch. Hit him on the fist, splintered the bat. Grounded to third. Scott Rowland nails him by 5 steps, and it's 1 down to start the bottom of the 5th.
We got 2 right-handers out there on the hill, just masterful.
He is raring to go, and the pitch to him. There's a strike, a high strike. Oh, man, oh man.
I have not seen that called the other way, that's for sure.
0-1 pitch. Way high. Crowd yelling to Angel Hernandez. Wasn't that a strike too? Backe's up there. I think he likes it better when he's not asked to sacrifice. He loves to hit, and he's had some big hits this year and helped himself. Woody Williams brings the 1-1. Big rip, comes up empty on a slider, 1-2.
You know what you had right there? You had Backe guessing fastball. Took a huge rip, but nowhere close as his slider broke down and away.
Well, wasn't it peculiar after a couple of those games where he had hits? He didn't see many fastballs, did he? Bouncer to the mound, a comebacker for Woody Williams. Grabs, flips to Pujols, and 2 quick outs here in the 5th. Another ground ball out for him, and it's 6 of them. Up to the top with Biggio, who's bounced to third and popped to short.
Just a defensive swing there by Backe as Williams came back with a hook.
Biggio 5 for 15 in the series. I think that should be 5 for 20, and it is. Grounded to third, popped to short. Nobody on in front of him, 2 away. Down a little for a ball. On deck is Carlos Beltran. Boy, he'd like to be in on some of those conversations down those folks around our on-deck circle when Beltran is down there. Down and in, he gives them so much to look forward to and so much to talk about. 2 balls, no strikes to Biggio. Woody Williams ready, and the 2-0 to Biggio. A strike at the knees. Call. Bidge thought that was maybe a little tight. 2-1.
You know, with the 2-0 count there and 2 outs in a scoreless ball game, I personally would rather see Bidge go ahead and tee off, get the big swing, than try to get the 2-out walk.
Fouling back, top of the screen, 2-2. Pitch on the way. Swinging, bouncer third, backed up a half a step. The strong throw will get him by a half a step. So the right-hand batting catcher, Mike Matheny, flied to right field, 3rd inning. And Backe brings it to the Cardinal backstop and swinging and comes up empty on an opening slider.
Right at the knees. I'm telling you, he has been something. Speaking of Brandon Backe.
No balls, 1 strike. Matheny is 2 for 10 in the series. And the pitch to him. Missing down and out with another slider. The count even now, ball and a strike. Good hitting pitcher Woody Williams is on deck. Slightly close stance for Mike Matheny as he leads off in the 6th inning in this scoreless game at Minute Maid Park. Took something off that breaking ball, got him over it.
That's the curveball over the top. You know, you really don't find that many pitchers who command both a curve and a slider really well.
Crowd into it now for Backe with another 2-strike count here, and the 1-2 to Matheny. Just missing.
Just under the knees. That's the way you come back with a 1-2 pitch, trying to put it right where the hitter, if he swings, is going to have a tough time putting any kind of the bat on it.
And if you miss, you'd rather miss there than up, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Matheny. Bounced it up there on the curveball, and it's a full count. Pitch count 66. So he's way below.
He's just had a great evening to this point.
See what he handles, the 3-2 to Matheny. Shot second, Kent to his right. Got to set up and fire. Got him. Backe working in the 6th in a scoreless game. Swinging and missing. Started him off with a slider. Brad Ausmus really calling a good game for this youngster, isn't he?
It becomes easy, though, behind the plate when you work with a guy who shows you that he can throw any of his pitches for a strike in any count. Boy, then you just start plotting and planning.
And the 0-1. Stayed up and in. Nights in a row, Yankees blew a late inning lead. There's a foul back. The Red Sox trying to stay in it at Fenway. Now the crowd into it here again because you got 2 strikes up there on the batter. The wind and the 1-2 to Williams. Almost on that belt buckle, and it's 2-2.
Oh, this fastball just missed that inside edge.
Brandon doing a little manicuring. Kicking some dirt away on the third base side of the rubber. And delivers. Way high. Full count to Woody Williams.
Starting to labor here a little more in the 6th inning.
Under normal circumstances, he'd be about 85 pitches. Well, he's only 72 at the moment.
It's a dangerous hitter with a 3-2 count. Woody had a good swing as he flied to left in the 3rd.
3-2 pitch. Line drive right into the glove of Kent. 2 down.
Again, Woody Williams getting a good swing and hit this ball right on the screws, but at Kent.
2 down for the top of the order. Womack, who's popped to short and grounded us short. So Womack 0 for 2 tonight. And this leadoff batter, the job you've done on him so important, Alan, because he's such a good base stealer and can make things happen. He's now 2 for 19 in this series.
Key for Backe now is to be able to get ahead and stay there and not fall into those 3-1 and 3-2 counts.
Very clever banner tonight, starting all our names with B's out there.
Third baseman Bensberg drawn in.
Outside of ball. Bosmus at third.
Bosmus at third.
Catching.
He's a gifted fellow behind the plate.
He can play anywhere.
You got it.
Those catchers with those good hands. Ready for the 1-0. Down, he falls behind the speedy leadoff batter Womack. 2 balls, no strikes.
Brad goes out to the mound now, and all he's going to try to do is provide a little bit of time for Brandon. So it's regroup time.
Let's don't lose this speedy Womack, because LaRussa might try to manufacture something if you lose him. Plate umpire was starting out, but the conference breaks up before he gets there, and it's 2 balls, no strikes to Tony Womack. Larry Walker, the on-deck hitter, over here to the left.
I wonder what kind of odds you could have gotten at the office to say you're in the 6th inning with 2 outs in the top of the 6th and only 1 hit in the ballgame, Astros and Cardinals.
Bagwell has the hit. Swinging, oh, good, lively heater. He retired the first 13. Gave up a walk to Edmonds. Now he's retired 4 more. So 17 out of the 18 batters he's faced. Fouled up here to the left. Going into the club level.
Fastball at 91. We've seen Brandon here's through the first 5 innings steadily about 93.
And here's that crowd in it. Two to Womack. Base hit into right field. Left the ball up a little.
Breaking ball left through the heart of the plate, and Womack gets a solid piece. And we've seen Womack put some good at-bats on Brad Lidge with that slider.
That's their first hit. It happens with 2 away in the 6th.
Boy, you just wondered if it was going to be magic on top of magic tonight for Brandon Backe.
This will bring up Larry Walker. He struck out swinging opening inning. 4th inning, comebacker to the mound, so he's 0 for 2. He's had a good series, 6 for 18, including 2 homers and driven in 5.
Be surprised if Womack doesn't try to run.
Pitch on the way to Walker. Down a ball, 1-0. Pujols on deck. 78 pitches now for Backe. He's working in the 6th inning.
Womack on the season stole 26 in 31 tries.
He led them in steals. They stole 111. Ready for the 1-0. Osma sets up down on the way, throw to first instead. Diving back safely is Womack. Their 2 steals in the series belong to him. And of the 14 they stole against us during the year, he had 4 of those. Backe with that deliberate stretch to the belt. Pushes Womack back, and he's in safely, diving back head first. 1-0 to Larry Walker. We're in the 6th inning. 1 hit apiece, no errors, no score. Backe will check in at first and bring it to Walker. Breaking ball, it looked like a pretty good pitch.
Man, apparently called up through the heart of the plate, and this was lower than we saw one called against the Astros last inning. It's that high curveball, but probably right about waist high as it came through.
Well, that's about 1.5 feet below where the rule book says. Ready for the 2-0. Womack edging but not going. Now they push him back again. He's in there safely, and it's 2 balls, no strikes to Walker. Two quick outs. Then Womack singled through the right side. Now it's a 2-0 count to Walker. And hit by Womack there first, and it came here in the 6th inning. Pitch to Walker. Strike at the knees. 2-1.
Fastball there at 90, and you have to wonder if Brandon might be losing a bit.
Last time he pitched, he went to 93 pitches, and that was on 3 days rest.
I'd like to find a way for Brandon to get himself back on the bench here, still in a scoreless ballgame, and have the Astros bats provide some runs and some time.
2 balls and 1 strike. And he had to go out there in a hurry for this inning, especially because Woody Williams had a very quick inning in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 pitch, started after it, held up in time. That'll push the count to 3-1.
Where the command through 5 innings found Brandon Backe right on the Brad Ausmus glove. Brad set up in here, and the pitch was down and away.
Dangerous count on this hitter.
Yeah, you don't want to give in on Walker because he's likely to juice one. At the same time, you don't want to put him on for Albert Pujols. Tough decision.
Womack first base single put him there. 2 down, 6th inning, no score. Ready for the 3-1. It's on the way. He walked him. 2 on for Pujols.
Jim Hickey time.
Second walk surrendered by Backe, and the pitching coach Hickey's on the way.
Astros get the right-handed arm of Chad Qualls going in the pen. Imagine some folks might wonder if it wasn't Wheeler time.
Pujols has bounced out twice tonight, 2nd and 3rd. 9 for 17 in the series. One of the toughest outs in the game. Hit him on the fist. Popped him up. Can't under. Can't squeeze it. Oh, what an out.
Yes, sir, and you do it with the fastball by spotting it on the inside corner.
And his first pitch to Scott Rowland to open the 7th. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Angel Hernandez has no latitude.
It's tightened up a little bit right now. This fastball apparently just missing off the inside edge.
1 ball and no strikes. Scott Rowland leans out over the plate, and here's the pitch to him. Fouling it over here to the right side. Breaking ball, and he fouled it to make it 1-1. I walked out last night with Scott Rowland and some of his family. He looks big down there,
yeah.
but you walk beside him, you really get a picture.
That's funny because I actually walked right behind him until I got to the Astros clubhouse, and I was just in awe of the size of this man.
High pop right side. Jeff Kent. 1 down. Couple of pop-ups in a row here. 5th inning retiring Pujols and getting Rowland here in the 6th. Jim Edmonds has flied to center and drawn a walk. 2 walks given up by Backe. Struck out a couple. That was back in the 2nd inning when he got Scott Rowland and Renteria, both of them looking. Now the pitch to Edmonds. On the knees, a called strike with a fastball. These two clubs have been hitting homers against each other for 4 straight games. Tonight, nothing resembling one. There's a shot, and Kent to his right. Set up. Throw. Got him. Right-hand batting shortstop. Closed stance. Nobody on, 2 away. Strike call. Split that plate in 2 at the knee. Scoreless game, 7th inning. Renteria batting, nobody on, 2 away. A little tight evidently under the knees. It's a ball and a strike.
A good sign once again to see Backe under the knees and not having this fastball get away from him.
He's in the 7th and has only thrown 91 pitches. He threw 93 the last time out, most he'd ever thrown. And the pitch swung on, lining it out into center, coming across Beltran. Has he got it? Has he got it? He's got it! Holy Toledo! What a play! Put 2, 3, this kind of a game. All the Blue Stars you got.
This is a legit big-time play in left center. Carlos Beltran dazzling with the leather.
Boy, from our angle, looked like it was going to go to the gap and the Conoco pump. He left his feet. He hangs on. Standing OL.
Yeah, this is,
oh, boy.
It's 3 bases if it gets by Carlos.
Well, that got him up, and they're staying up because it is the 7th inning stretch. Boy, let's see if we can put some hits and runs around that kind of a play. That's the play of the game by Carlos Beltran heading toward left center. Against Woody Williams, a pitcher's battle deluxe here. Fabulous plays on both sides. There's a smash foul down the left side. I tell you, that play by Beltran.
That was a real deal.
Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really, it comes with 2 outs, but that ball's a triple if it gets on by Beltran, and you might even be thinking of 4 bags.
And the pitch on the way to Kent, lining it into left and going across is Sanders, and he snared one.
Very fine play. Not nearly in the caliber of what we just saw from Beltran, but Had this ball gotten by Sanders and it had a chance at that last moment, that's 2 bags to start things.
And these plays have been happening with leadoff batters against us. Instead of having somebody at second base and nobody out, they've been making plays. And we've made some plays as well. This is some kind of ball game. The folks who like good old country hardball are getting a dose of it here tonight.
Dan Wheeler is now throwing in the Astros pen. Nobody throwing in the Cards pen in left center.
Ensberg a strikeout and been hit by a pitch. Swings and pops it. Right side. Womack into the grass about 6-8 feet. 2 quick outs here for Woody Williams. He has not had, except for the 4th inning when he walked a man and hit a man, that's about the only tough inning he's had. What's his pitch count up there now?
Well, that's 92. I think this is a big time for Vizcaino to see if he can work this count deep, provide a little extra time for Brandon Backe.
Vizcaino's called out on strikes, and he's bounced out to Pujols. And the pitch from Woody Williams, the breaking ball right in there for a starter, and it's strike 1.
Unless it's already been determined that Backe will not go back out for the 8th inning.
He was in the mid-90s. That'd be 2 games in a row for him. There's a chopper towards second. Womack in, underhand toss. Another quick inning for Williams. And Brandon Backe brings it to him. Sends it way back into center. Beltran going back. He's going to have to get up on the terrace. And that's where he'll catch it. And ended up about 8 feet away from the flagpole.
This ball was destroyed. Probably 425 to 430 in the air. And Carlos Beltran, again playing a very deep center field, able to get up on Tal's Hill and catch this ball with his chest toward home plate. You don't see that often.
1 down in the 8th inning.
If ever.
On a lot of nights, well, Beltran dazzles you with his bat. Other nights with his speed. Tonight he's doing it with his legs and his glove. And we need him in this kind of a game. It's 0-0. Matheny, the batter. That's a ball. And they're going to go to their bench. Marlon Anderson is already on deck.
It's been the Cards bullpen that's actually let them down here in the last couple of games, although I believe we're looking at Jason Isringhausen now throwing in left center.
Ready for the 1-0 from Backe. And strike call, hits an outside corner with a fastball. And it's 1-1 to Matheny.
What you have is that tie ball game in the 8th inning. The one that we compare it to, the one in St. Louis. Bradledge did not come on. And of course a lot of talk about that one.
A ball and a strike. Matheny with a slightly closed stance. Nobody on in front of him. 1 away. Brandon Backe delivers to Matheny. A topper fouled on the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a curveball. 95 pitches, I believe, now.
From the Astros pen, it's Dan Wheeler still heating it up. No sign of Bradledge.
Here we are with another 2-strike count.
Crowd to their feet.
And this is our largest crowd of the postseason, over 43,000. A ball and 2 strikes. Backe delivers to Matheny. Smashes third. Ensberg, long throw across. Got him by 5 steps, and it's 2 away in the 8th. Mabry, left-hand batter. And the pitch on the way. Tried to backdoor him with a curveball. It stayed away, and it's ball 1.
That was a pretty nice offering. Curveball appeared to be right there at the outside black.
94 pitches for Woody Williams. And Brandon Backe delivers. Coming up empty on a change.
Seldom used that change tonight, but effectively at least a couple of times when behind in the count.
The next pitch for Backe will be number 100. A ball and a strike. Backe kicks and brings it. Swinging, fouling. 1-2. Chance to break it in a hurry as we approach the top of the hour. And the 1-2 to Mabry. Swinging, missing. Struck him out.
Got him on a breaking pitch down and away. Brandon Backe.
Pitch on the way. In there for a strike. With him on the hill and Lidge throwing in our bullpen, tells you what both managers are thinking about here, aren't they? Strike 1 to Ausmus. Palmeiro on deck. Breaking ball away. Missed with a big sweeping curve, and it's 1-1. Right-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. Isringhausen on the hill. Ausmus batting. One hit apiece, no score. Strike in there, caught an outside corner with a Swiftie. Came off a curveball away and got the fastball corner inside.
Red Sox have just beaten the Yankees.
Second extra inning victory for them.
So it's now 3-2 Yankees leading in that series.
Ready for a 1-2, and it's on the way to Ausmus. Swinging and comes up empty. Palmeiro trying to get on for the top of the order. Nothing, eighth inning. And the pitch from Isringhausen. Up high to Palmeiro. He was a teammate last year.
You know, you kind of have to wonder in Boston, did Babe Ruth have a sense of humor? All these years, we've been talking about that inability to win. Is it going to be in a year when they lose the first 3?
Strike called. Oh, man. Some kind of strike zone for Angel Hernandez.
David Ortiz once again coming up with a game-winning hit in this one.
2-run homer last night to win it. And he had a big home run to win one of the first-round games.
Right.
Popping up shallow right, second baseman Womack under, and 2 down. So pinch hitter Palmeiro popping up to the second baseman in shallow right center. Now you're up to the top with Biggio. There's a lot of offers in this game on both sides. The Bagwell single in the first, and the Womack single in the 6th. That's it. And the terrific plays on both sides have kept both teams off the scoreboard. Biggio has bounced to third, popped to short, and bounced to third again. 0 for 3 tonight. 5 for 21 in the series for Craig. And a breaking ball for a strike. Isringhausen, a big guy, but he doesn't get you with smoke. He's got a good slider, and he's got a good curve.
He has all of it. He's got the great heater to go with it.
And the 0-1. Big swing. He's in a hole. 0-2.
That fastball at 94, but at times Isringhausen has the kind of arm that'll go up 97, 98.
Brandon Backe's still staying right down on that bench. He wants his club to go out and get something. He gave you everything he had, didn't he? Most pitches he's ever thrown.
Terrific performance.
Ready for the 0-2. Swinging, fouling, and arguably, Allen, a one-hitter through 8 innings against one of the most potent offenses in the league.
Well, I think you can say it for both pitchers tonight. Brandon Backe and Woody Williams, tremendous performances, and so unlikely against these lineups.
Ready now for an 0-2. Isringhausen will go to that deliberate stretch between the letters in the belt and bring it. Popping him out into right center. Womack going out. He's going to make the call. A 1-2 inning for Isringhausen. We go to the 9th with a whole parade of goose eggs. 0-0. And the pitch to him. Bouncer Kent. One pitch, 1 out. And the pitch to Larry Walker. Strike calls, put the plate in 2 with a 96-mile-an-hour heater.
And a fastball right at the knees.
No balls, 1 strike. No runs are up there, only 1 hit aside. Strike called. Came back with another fastball.
Catching Walker, maybe guessing as he brings 2 straight fastballs.
Biggest crowd of the playoffs here. Over 43,000. Everybody's up. Down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not a bad selection there when you...
That's what Brad's trying to do. He's not trying to throw that slider for an 0-2 strike. He wants it under the knees.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Larry Walker waiting, and the pitch from Brad Lidge. Swing and a miss with heat upstairs.
And the high cheese, so he gets Walker on fastballs. Giving the Cards a little something extra to think about.
Now it's Pujols. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He came into this game 9 for 15 in the first 4 games. One of the most feared hitters in the league and in the game. Albert Pujols, nobody on, 2 down. Fouling it out of play over here to the right side.
Starts him with a slider, left it up in the zone just a little more, I think, than Brad would like. But that's that slider that he starts and gets the call on.
Power to burn in the batter's box. Scoreless game, 9th inning. Just missing away at 96, and it's 1-1. Backe, 8 scoreless. Lidge gets the first 2 in the 9th. And the 1-1 to Pujols. Did he go? Yes, he did, on a slider. 1-2.
This time Pujols guessing for the fastball, got the slider. The bat starts, and there's no way to hold it back.
Lets in on the atmosphere. Swing and a miss.
Blows heat by.
3 up, 3 down. 2 more strikeouts for Liz. Now it's time to get a run. Isringhausen delivers. Up and away, ball 1. Breaking ball up there, 1-0. Pitch to Beltran. Up and in, ball 2. Bagwell on deck. Switch hitting Beltran to face the right-hander Isringhausen. Swinging, line drive hit, right center. It's on the grass, will it split him? Oh no, nice hustle on the play by Larry Walker. Held him to a leadoff single.
Yeah, it took a real good right fielder and Larry Walker to make this play. Looked for a moment like it might scoot on by. But now the Astros, I don't know, how do you try to manufacture? Do you go ahead and set Carlos Beltran loose? He's never been thrown out trying to steal in an Astros uniform.
Well, I think that would be more of the case than asking Bagwell to bunt.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Now Matheny going out to talk to Isringhausen.
Now you played 8.5 innings with no one scoring. You might try something here. Of course, there haven't been many options to try anything on either side.
With that big trunk on Isringhausen, would be a guy you could steal on?
Well, we'll have to see how quick he looks to the plate here.
Tron with a lead. Not going. High, ball 1 to Baggs.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a slide step, but it's certainly not a high leg delivery there.
Bagwell batting. Berkman on deck. You're in the 9th inning in a scoreless game. 2 hits for Houston, 1 hit for the Cardinals. Isringhausen checking. Beltran. He's now too much time. Bagwell wants time. Plate umpire gives it to him.
Beltran, so smart, so intelligent, which is the reason why he is the all-time leader in stolen base percentage, over 100 bases stolen. But he picks his time. He seems to have a sense of when a pitcher is going to deliver.
1 ball and no strikes. Throw over. Beltran back safely. Telegraphed the throw. Sounds like a beehive in here. Ready for the 1-0 to Bagwell out of the stretch from Isringhausen. Here it comes. Swinging and popping up over here to the left. Matheny throws the mask.
Okay, it's a dead ball.
Dead ball, hit the roof.
It's hit the girders up there, and that's a break for Jeff Bagwell and the whole Astros ball club.
It is indeed.
This pop-up was going to be caught on that third base side in foul territory. So you get another swing on the house.
Well, let's get a run on the house.
That has been the one and only negative of having the roof closed. I think it's terrific for the players and fans.
Beltran led off the 9th with a single. He has not taken a big lead. Throw over in the back door safely.
I'm not sure about this bee buzzing, because I think these fans have done pretty well providing the noise on their own.
They whirl those towels so much they make a buzz. Bagwell 1 for 3 tonight. 4th inning. Scott Rowland took a double away from him. One of the great plays on both sides. Throw to first there. Here's a spot, Alan, and catching and seeing so many pitches in your life. Give me your thought on this. If he splits his concentration thinking about Beltran, could give Bagwell a pitch to hit.
It can happen, no doubt. Only one stolen base against Isringhausen on the year, so that quickness pays off for him.
Here he goes, swinging, and a foul fly down the right side.
Well, that's a tough situation as Beltran had a good jump. This ball well back into the seats down the right field side, but for Bagwell with the 1-1 count, that's tough to lay off and say, yeah, I'll let him go ahead and take it here.
He doesn't want to put himself in a 1-2 count.
But I believe Beltran had the kind of jump that was going to steal a bag.
He sure did. Then you saw him looking back. If he think, well,
he's trying to steal, so he's not going to do a lot of glancing until he hears bat on ball, if you can hear that.
And then he looked back in case Walker was going to go to the line, and then there was no play. Ready for a 1-2 to Bagwell. Swinging and a pop. Foul over here to the right. Matheny over. And it'll be up about 12, 15 rows. And it's still 1-2 to Bagwell.
Just not quite getting to it. He's having some balls seemingly get deep on him.
In this series with the Cardinals, Bagwell has been limited to 4 hits in 16 at-bats. He's only driven in 1 run. He has not played long ball in the series. Astros have 2 hits. The Cardinals have 1 hit. There he goes again. And there's a fly ball out into right center. Playable. Center fielder Edmonds there. And there's 1 down.
This was not a bad time to have Bagwell make contact because Beltran spun his wheels as he began, and he would have found himself out in no man's land. I don't think he was going to continue.
Now it's Berkman, who's had 8 runs batted in this series. He's had 3 homers. He's got a 9-game hitting streak in the playoffs on the line. Wouldn't this be a great place to make it 10 straight?
You know, I also contend that had Beltran now been at second base, Cards might opt to walk Berkman intentionally to face the right-hand hitting Jeff Kent.
Tony La Russa coming out.
Because I think Tony's concerned about Berkman, and well, he should be.
Berkman batting left-handed against Isringhausen. Beltran first, not going. Boo, what a cut he had.
High heat out of the strike zone.
Well, if the place wasn't air-conditioned before, it is now.
Here's what happens, though. You tell yourself you're going to be really aggressive. And what that usually does is it expands your swinging area. You start going after something you see that you feel like you can hit.
0-1 to Berkman. Kent on deck. Here's the pitch. Up high. A ball and a strike. Isringhausen working. Berkman in this series is hitting .412.
Isringhausen gave up 5 dingers on the regular season in 75 1/3 innings.
Stretching, looking, runner going. Swinging, foul back.
Well, once again, Carlos Beltran had this bag stolen as Berkman fouled it off on the 1-1 count. And maybe once again the pitch was up.
Those 5 homers you talked about from Isringhausen, only one of them was by an Astro, and that was Bagwell, and it was in St. Louis.
Boy, Mike Matheny was firing out on this pitch. He gets rid of the ball quickly. Not the greatest arm of catchers in the National League, but gets rid of it quickly and accurately.
Ready for the 1-2. Stretching, hesitating. Long hesitation. I'm surprised Berkman didn't step out. Now he calls time. He wants out of there.
Well, what Isringhausen is doing is he's going to freeze on occasions and probably have no intention of delivering the pitch just to see if he can catch a flinch from Beltran at first, and at that moment gun over there.
Matheny out talking to Isringhausen. Beltran leading off with a solid single into right center. Stayed there as Bagwell flied out to right center. Oh, this much buzzing around this hive. Let's put some honey on it. As we wait, runner going, outside, stolen base.
Well, it took 4 times with Beltran trying to run for him to finally be able to get one where the pitch was not hit. And now I think they're going to go ahead and walk Berkman intentionally. Even with the 2-2 count, that's the kind of respect Tony La Russa has for Berkman.
So an intentional pass, even though decide after the 2-2. Third walk to the Astros in the game. Woody Williams walked a couple. One more will do it. Then there'll be 2 on for Jeff Kent. And Kent was one of the best clutch hitters in the drive through the September onslaught to get to the wild card. That stolen base is only our second in the series. Berkman had the other one. Two on, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th in a scoreless game at magnificent Minute Maid Park. And talk about a ball game. What a game and a pivotal game, Alan Ashby. This kind of pitching, the defense. Oh, man, what a game.
How many times will you see an opposing manager walk a hitter to get to the leading RBI man over the regular season for a club? That's what Jeff Kent was.
Hit 107. Did it in the last couple of days, just edging out Berkman, who had 106. Jeff Kent is 0 for 3 tonight. He's 3 for 17 in the series. 2 of his 3 hits in the series have been homers. Let's see if he can step on the clutch here. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Isringhausen delivers, driving it way back into left field. It's up, it's over, it's gone, it's gone. Big home run by Kent. Holy Toledo, what a hit.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I believe there's bedlam at home plate for the Astros as they bombard Jeff Kent. It couldn't get any better than this. Or could it? You know, you can't fault Tony La Russa at all. I think every manager in the league would have done the same thing in that situation, and Jeff Kent comes through.
Well, when he went up there, Alan, you remember I said he was a big clutch hitter down the stretch. This is a big clutch.
Well, what this means is now the Astros go back to St. Louis. Yeah, a lot of people wondered 3 days ago if there would be any trip to St. Louis.